Hi, it's you and Ellery here making bonsai in Australia, and in this video I'm going to do an update on my Bald Cypress. So I made this one here about a year ago, and this one here did a video on about 9 months ago as well. And initially when I did them, when I did this one in particular, I really only cut it back to, there was a small shoot kind of coming up the top. I really didn't like the structure of the trunk at the time, and it was kind of, there wasn't really much to work with, and just kind of pruned it back to a bit of a stick to see where it would go. So I do a bit of pruning with that. And this one here, despite not putting it into a bonsai pot, kind of left it in a normal pot just to let it grow a bit. And just kind of seeing how it grows, but this one I had a fair bit more to work with, and it's actually done fairly well since then as well. So I'm just going to prune them a little bit today, kind of restyle them a bit. This one's kind of grown in the same kind of way that it had previously, which I'd been a bit disappointed about in terms of kind of really just growing from where it had been cut back a number of times previously, so a lot of shooting from the same spot. So I might just try and see how I go. So I tried leaving a couple of branches just to, I guess, get a little bit of taper. I might actually remove some of this moss that's creeping up the trunk, but just trying to get a bit of taper in the bottom of the trunk there. And there's a few others that have kind of sprouted out down below too, so I'm going to keep those just really just to further that purpose. And a bit of a dead bit there. Now, I was doing this as a bit of a clip and grow style initially. I may continue that route, but we'll see. I do want branches kind of coming out radially from various points at the side, so I might actually keep a lot of these smaller little branches and get rid of some of the other ones that are trying to kind of more or less just grow up as a leader. So prune these back, and I've had quite a lot of success with growing these cuttings. So so I'm hoping these ones here will kind of drip down a little bit. These trees kind of tend to naturally grow with the one main leader and then a lot of branches coming off on the side, so I kind of want to replicate that in future. And that same purpose, despite the fact that there was a good bit of movement in that branch, really didn't want it, so prune that back. I think that's clean enough. And where I pruned it back previously, it's starting to heal up, but there's a bit of dead wood here that the live trunk isn't quite covering, so just pruning it back a little bit more flush. And we'll just prune back the top here as well. And that'll hopefully just start growing, shoot back here, and hopefully get a new leader. And hopefully this area here where everything previously was starting to grow, hopefully I'll get the growth starting to come up from here, so it'll start looking a lot more natural with time, and have more branching kind of starting. Keep these ones as hopefully ultimately the thicker lower branches, and then slowly more smaller and smaller branches fanning off from the top. So still very early days with this one. I had put it in a bonsai pot, but really not bonsai ready at this point in time. Definite work in progress. So put that aside now. And this one, definitely a lot more happening with this one, and a lot more potential. I could use that as another trunk, kind of as a twin trunk tree, or I could have the one and then use all of these other little branches that kind of come in with it. I might actually do that, because there's not a lot of vigor in this one here. And yeah, it's what, been 9 months, and it's really not grown much at all, which is why it still needs this wire to be here. So I might leave it in part, just drastically prune it back. It kind of kept it there originally because it was, yeah, there was a lot less branching. It was a branch I could play with, so I thought I'd give it a shot, but it's not really doing much. Okay. Prune it back to there. Yeah, so that'll then go out a bit radially. Bring this back a bit. Start to profile. So these branches up here, that's kind of drooping down. Bring that back. Bring that back. Start getting a bit of padding going on some of these branches. It's drooping a bit too far. That. And just in here there's kind of a few coming from the same kind of area, so just prune back that one in the middle. Now I like that view there to be the front. So that being the case, I'll keep these branches that are kind of coming out on the side, but then there's this branch that's kind of coming out. The branches that are coming out kind of straight towards the viewer from the front, which is that view there. Just remove those just so that you can kind of see the branches coming out on the sides, but not have those other branches impeding view. Same for this one, it's coming out here. And this one, just more droopiness. And a bit into profile. So yeah, just because the vigor normally goes a lot into the top, I'm going to prune back the top a lot more, just to kind of keep a bit more energy in the bottom. Yeah, hopefully thicken these branches up a bit more, so might even prune this. I'm going to keep some of the, it's kind of branching out a little bit active. So there's now, looking at that now from the front, there's a few different options I could take for a leader, and there's a natural leader which is kind of coming off from the side here, starting to take over, but it's really coming out too far and kind of out of the, if I have this as the leader, it kind of makes the trunk look a lot more straight. It's like curvy a little bit, but it loses a bit of the movement. Taking that off, and it kind of, yeah, a lot more kind of comes out and then back in again up the top, so retains some of that curvature. Just clean up a bit there. And there's another one here, which is, so both that one and this one here, kind of newer shoots. This one here was the original, and both of these is kind of taken off and become really thick, but they're also quite straight, and this one kind of comes out back in line with the base of the trunk, but in a bit of a kind of an arc shape. So a lot more movement in that original branch, and it's not as thick, so I get a bit more taper. So take that off as well. won't keep that full movement because originally I kind of had the other branch kind of balance it off, but now I'm kind of trying to keep it kind of compact here. So I'll prune it back about here and let it grow back in the future. So yeah, just keeping that profile and letting the vigor, a bit more vigor, kept in the bottom there. Don't want that hanging too much, but yeah, keeping that vigor in the bottom. So prune these back a bit. And yeah, just bring it back a lot more. Okay, so quite a lot that I've pruned off of those now. From yeah, a bit of growth over the last 9 months to a year. So yeah, really pruning them back quite drastically for now. A bit of growth in them over the rest of summer before it starts getting into moving towards winter. But yeah, this should grow back, and just trying to refine it to get the growth in the areas that I want, to build the taper that I want, and the branching structure that I'm looking for. So yeah, that's these for now, and probably in another maybe in spring next year I'll likely repot this into an actual bonsai pot, and have a look at the root structure again since the first time I root pruned it, and see if there's anything, yeah, just to see how it looks exposing some of those surface roots if they're developed enough. But look, that's the video for now. I hope you enjoyed this video or took something from it. If you have, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to be notified of my future videos as I release them. So thanks for your time today. Enjoy. Bye.